for my project, I'm going to be talking about some of Australia's marsupials. Yay! Oh, look, that's like streamers running from the ceiling. Yeah. So I'm going to be doing a little speed paint that you're seeing right now with some little animated characters in the corner, and each time we talk about a new animal they changed. Currently, it's just a bad picture of me, but it's not a picture because it's animated. So, cool. First, I'm going to be going over the materials I used for this, then the actual presentation. Alright, so for this video, I used Metabang Paint Pro for the art, FireAlpaca for the little animated characters you're seeing over there, and Windows Movie Maker and KineMaster for the editing, as well as the UG M1000L graphic tablet. For this presentation, I'll be talking some of Australia's marsupials, as I said before. First the kangaroo, then the koala, then the brush-tailed possum. I'll be going over 4 sections for each of the animals: habitat, diet, lifespan, and behavior. And then some other facts that I found cool, but didn't fit into the categories. So they're just there because they're cool, okay? Even though you probably already knew them because you can just tell by looking at them. If you have any questions, please wait till the end because this was recorded on Thursday of next week from when you're watching this. So I can't read the future and tell what you're going to ask because this is pre-recorded. Alright, let's go to kangaroos. Kangaroos are found from semi-arid to arid parts in Australia, such as the Great Victorian Desert. That's just an example that we talked about at one point in time, so there we go. They prefer to spend their time in open plains with very few to no trees. They eat mainly grass, leaves, and nothing else. They are herbivores, so they only eat plants, because that's what herbivores eat. So they can live up to 22 years in the wild and 16 in captivity. That surprised me, since most animals tend to live longer when in captivity. For example, my birds, which you can hear screaming in the background, and I can't get them to be quiet. So, I'm sorry, but for my birds, they can live up to maybe 2 years in the wild, but they've lived up to 20 years in captivity. So when I heard this fact, it kind of was like, whoa, that doesn't make any sense at all. But okay. Or maybe it's just that the cages that the kangaroos are put in when they're in captivity, they're like too small or something, whatever. Moving on. They travel in groups called mobs, dominated by one male. They spend their time grazing, relaxing, etc. Cool kangaroo stuff. Pretty cool. Did you know that kangaroos are as small as a lima bean when they're newborns? You might have, I don't know. I didn't until now, because I figured that out when I was researching. So, on to koalas. Koalas are found mainly on the eastern sides of Australia, inside of eucalyptus forests, which only makes sense, since, as you know, probably, their diet is comprised of eucalyptus leaves. Probably taste good to them. They can live up to 13 years in the wild or in captivity. And they live mainly in the trees, and they spend very little time on the ground. And they do not live in groups. They live alone or with their children for most of their lives. And did you know that the closest relative to the koala is the wombat? I mean, it's not that hard to tell. They're pretty similar. Their noses look pretty similar. That's the first similarity I noticed about them. So, on to the brush-tailed possum. Yay. The brush-tailed possum is not the same thing as the American possum. First, it's not spelled with an O, and, okay, they obviously look pretty different, so let's not go and compare every last detail. Save me some time. This has to be under 10 minutes. Possums will live anywhere they can, from arid wooded places to in your garbage or on your roof. But not in your garbage because they live in Australia. And you don't. I think. I hope you don't, because then you wouldn't be watching this. They mainly eat leaves and berries, but also eat small mammals such as rats if they want to, but that's pretty uncommon for them. They live within 13 years, in the wild or in captivity. But why would you ever have one as a pet or in a zoo? Because they're like rats. So They're only active at night since they are nocturnal. They spend their time scavenging for food or building shelters or nests or even just relaxing, because even rats need some relaxation. They live alone and not in groups. They are also considered pests in most places where they are found because they're rats. And rats tend to get into your garbage, and then they try to get into your home, into that garbage inside your home. And that's gross. Rats are gross. That's the end. This was the funnest project I've made in a long time. Or ever. And I wish I could do every project like this. It was so fun to make. Alright, bye.